Alright, sorry for the poor quality, guys, but just at Nissan, and of course the fella had to come with me on the drive. I wanted to do this a bit better than this, but anyway, here's the new screen in the new car, and old mate's got his phone connected to it, but anyway, here's what it's like. It seems actually quite good. I don't mind it at all, actually. It looks like you've got some sort of voice activation here. Your home menu, which is this, and then it goes into your apps and stuff. I actually really like it. It's actually quite good. I like how it's all integrated in really nicely. It looks factory. It feels really good, and it's not laggy too much, which a lot of these screens can be. This is the maps that are built into it, and I mean, you can see there's a little bit of lag there for like when it first like wakes up, but apart from that, it's not too bad, and it shows you all crossings, traffic lights, servos, which are important in these things. So it's quite good, actually. I really do like it. Now, keep in mind, this is a TIL, so a little bit more fancy than the TI, but you know, we've got some storage up here, and obviously the TIL has the Bose audio phone charger down here, and of course you will get in the TI is your cooler box as well. We all know what the Patrol's like, so yeah, he's gonna give me a Warrior to drive, so yeah, let's see how that is. Alright, we're in a different car now. We're in the Warrior. This has actually got an EC Offroad infotainment system in it. Again, I'm sorry for the poor camera quality. I have to use my phone. I wouldn't have a chance to grab my camera. But this has got the EC Offroad infotainment system, and to be honest, I really don't like it. I don't think it's as good as the Directed Technologies infotainment system in the updated 2024 Patrol. I really don't think it is. Like, this is just an Android tablet, really, so it's, you know, got access to the internet, and there's, you know, a heap more adjustability and control over the infotainment system and what it does and that sort of thing. And if you know anything about Android, that's very typical. Android typically has a lot more control over what you can do with their phones or tablets. So this is pretty much what it is. I'm sure you could, you know, add apps to this and stuff, but the camera quality on this is shocking. It is so bad. Let me put it into reverse. I'm sure a lot of people already know how bad it is, but look at it. It's so grainy. You can't really make out the picture too well. This camera screen needed to be a lot bigger than what it is. It's a bit small, and when you're sitting back from the driver's position, it's hard to make out the detail in it and see what's going on, as well as it's actually quite laggy. Like, if I reverse a little bit here, see how it sort of lags and the picture just doesn't line up quite right, doesn't seem 100%, and that beeping, that's very frustrating as well. So yeah, I'm not a fan of that, and this radio screen just looks annoying to use. There's a lot going on there that I just don't like. However, I do like the Warrior. The Warrior is quite good. The suspension actually feels really nice just driving around town. Compared with my lifted Patrol, I think the Warrior's suspension is probably a bit more compliant in the fact that it handles the bumps a bit nicer. It's not as harsh, but I don't think it probably has the level of spring rate that my springs do. So there's probably that as well, and they have changed the valving and stuff within the actual shock absorber itself. So Premcar did a really good job of the Warrior. Feels quite nice to drive. It feels, you know, just like any other Patrol, but it's obviously a bit taller, and yeah, handles the road quite well. So quite impressed with that. Now, I was talking to old mate at the dealership, and he reckons that we'll see the new Patrol in 2027, which just seems a bit too far away for me, considering the QX80 has already been released, and I would have thought Nissan would have, you know, began some development on a new Y63 already. But however, I suppose time will tell. I think the main consensus is that we'll see something next year, but I mean, 3 years to see a new car, yeah, I don't know. I don't think the Y62 can live for another 3 years. I think if they leave it any longer, I think Patrol sales will start to drop, because people are wanting something new. and perhaps that's why they did the upgrade on the 2024 models, to sort of keep people a bit interested. Maybe it is going to be another 3 years before we see something, who knows. In my feeling, I just think that's too long till we'll see something. I think surely within next year, or you know, start of the year after at least. Yeah, however, Warrior, tick from me. Feels really nice, sounds good on startup, drives good as you would expect. However, put the 2024 screen in this and it would be a much better car. I'm actually not a fan of this infotainment system at all. This would have been something that I would have gotten for my car anyway. So it's actually really good to see that this is in here and I can get a good feel for it, because I'm, yeah, just not a fan. You know, these are a bit plasticky and crap feeling. I mean, you can see the molding on it. It's just, yeah, not great, especially for the money that you pay for this thing. Like, crazy money for something that's just feels cheap. Like, it feels cheap, it really does. Yeah, not a fan of it at all. What do the buttons feel like to press? Look, the button press isn't too bad, it's not horrible. Yeah, this button, it just doesn't feel like, you know, typical tactile feel. It feels a bit sloppy. Yeah, like, see, like, listen to that button press. It's just not quite there, is it? And for like, what, nearly $3 that you pay for one of these things? No thanks, not for me. How do we go home? We've got to go up here. And then we're you know, given this. What does T-Link 5 do? Oh yeah, so that's your Apple CarPlay and that sort of thing. And these are this is the map on it. The map on it's actually quite good, I'll give it that. There's no zooming in or zooming out on it, unfortunately, though. But, I mean, you can see it's actually a decent map. I don't mind that. Can we like get into, I don't know, a bit better of a view or something here? No. It's just basically Google Maps, really. So, look, it's not bad or anything, but, you know, this is basically just an Android tablet, whereas the new 2024 screen is actually a proper integrated infotainment system that is easy to use and still has a lot of functionality and changeability. This is just annoying to use. I'm not a fan. Like, you go into here and then you go into your aircon, and you're supposed to do all this when you're driving? No thanks. I mean, you've got the aircon controls there, but still. Like, the icons just don't look good, the screens don't look professional. Yeah, not a fan. Like, you can go into File Manager, and I do like the fact that you can, you know, you can change everything and add stuff to it. Like, you can, you know, get onto the internet and do stuff here and that sort of thing, which is really cool. I do like that about it, but just for functionality, ease of use, and icons, yeah, I don't like that. Anyway, I better get this thing back to Nissan before they start cracking the shits. So, yeah, we'll talk later on. Alright, so I just wanted to discuss how Nissan was this morning when I went there and went to check out the new updated 2024 Y62. So I called them up yesterday and asked if they had a car that was updated, and sure enough they did. More than happy to get me in for a time to test drive the car. Got there this morning, typical dealership, nobody's out in the yard, or watching the yard at least, to see if, you know, any customers are about, but that's okay. Had a bit of a look through patrols they had there. They had a couple of Warriors and just a couple of normal patrols. Had a bit of a look through them. They've just got a standard Warrior there, just like your typical Warrior. They also have another Warrior there that's got an EC Offroad infotainment system, which we discussed, and they also had TIL there, which is what I drove this morning, as well as the Warrior with the EC Offroad head unit in it. So like I mentioned, unfortunately the salesperson did want to come with me in the car, which was a shame, because I wanted to take the car and do a bit of in-depth with what they've actually done with it. I did a little bit when we were at the dealership, but I couldn't take the car by myself for whatever reason. I mean, I told them I've got a patrol, so, you know, I don't need anyone in the car telling me about the car or asking me how it is, because I already know. But anyway, he come along, and of course car felt just like this. TIL, so everything was a bit newer, and everything was a bit more flash and whatnot, and a few extra buttons and all the sort of jazz that TILs have. And of course the screen, I was really impressed. I'm very impressed with it. It's really good. Functionality of it and the level of settings and adjustment and stuff is really good. The display's nice and clear, crisp, it's snappy, it reacts well. The maps aren't too laggy like some can be. I was quite impressed. So if you are going to upgrade to a new Patrol, I reckon definitely do it. It's a big shame that the cameras aren't there, but like I did mention, I'm sure somebody will come up with a camera kit that'll be able to retrofit into a Patrol, because all it is just the mirrors and the front grille will have to change to accommodate the cameras, but you can easily get them parts from another Patrol and put them on, and then it's just running the wiring back into that head unit and actually figuring out if the head unit can support multiple camera feeds as well as all that extra wiring. So that's the thing that needs to be figured out, whether or not you can just get sort of like a patch loom where you can just it's got like a splitter, plug all the camera cables into one and just plug it in and bang, off you go, something like that. And then, you know, you've got new updated Patrol with your 360 degree camera and everything nice and new in there. I think that'd really be onto a winner. So went for the drive, all was good. Come back, and he said he's going to show me the Warrior, so showed me the Warrior, got the keys for that, and then I took that for a test drive. Warrior's really good too. The suspension from Prem Car is really good, and I felt it was very compliant on the road. It was really nice to drive, and was pretty much just like driving this. So whereas this is a 40mm lift, the Warrior has a 50mm lift. It does sit a bit higher than this. I parked it next to this, as you'll see in the photo, and I was like, wow, is there a really that big of a difference? And sure enough, there was quite a difference in height there. So to have all that engineered and legal and, you know, ticked off as being 100% is really good. So you get more lift in it than doing this, which would be considered illegal because it's got 35s, which it's basically a 1 point something inch increase in tyre size from standard, and then 2 inches of lift makes it 3 point whatever overall height increase. So which would be, you know, not safe for the roads. Whereas you can buy a Warrior that's already got the 35s and that 50mm of suspension increase, and it's all legal, good to go on your way. I mean, how good's that? Yeah, the price of them was quite up there. I think just for the 2023 Warrior it was 112, and then for the 2024 Warrior with the head unit and that sort of thing, it was 115,000. So pretty expensive. It's a lot of money to be spending on a car, but you get a lot of car for it. The track width of the vehicle is increased as well, so it's actually wider than standard. So it's a, you know, a taller and wider car just as is. So, but didn't feel it on the road. It just felt like driving this. I suppose I'm used to it now. So I hope that gives you a bit more information about the car and its actually, you know, usability and what it's like to actually use the vehicle and the new infotainment system. I will say the cameras are a lot, well, the camera is quite good on it too. Nice and clear, and it is very wide vision. It'd probably be from, you know, sort of the light to light, rear light sort of arc there, which is quite good. It is wide angle, so it is a good thing. But yeah, apart from that, yeah, it was good. And everyone that's been talking it down, I don't think there's much justification in it, to be honest, because it is much better over that, and it's a lot better than what you get with an aftermarket one, in my opinion. Just using them both side to side in one day, yeah, it was chalk and cheese really for me. But of course everyone has their own opinions and you know, likes what they like, so can't mock someone for having a different opinion just because they like it. That's their thing. So thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Make sure you like, comment and subscribe if you haven't already, It is very much appreciated, and I will see you all again in the next one. That, for reference, is a 200 series. So if anyone really liked the sound of that, go off your pop. Go on, leave. We're not here for that. What a bloody doofus.